It's a lovely afternoon, no sign of any rain, a little cool, not too much wind. And Steve Thompson, all set fair for two teams to take to the stage for a big game for both of them.
Oh, you couldn't wish for a better day, could you? Full house, pitch in superb condition, as you said, very little wind. It's an ideal afternoon for football.
And what a change. If you think back 5 years ago, 6 years ago, there might have been 2,000-3,000 here. There's now 10,000 as Lincoln City, led out by Neil Eardley in red and white stripes. Josh Vickers, the goalkeeper, all in yellow. As for the visitors, it's the usual Ipswich kit, a blue top, white shorts and blue socks. All green, a lime green for Will Norris in the goal. And Lincoln City have actually got a mascot for every player. They're that popular at the moment.
Interestingly saying, Michael Appleton saying that he thinks Ipswich have chosen a side with pace in it. So and he said that it seems like the manager from Ipswich has moved the team around a bit as well, left players out.
Do you think Michael Appleton, what he said was fair? He wasn't trying to make too much of it. Doesn't strike me. We're still getting to know him. There's someone to moan too much about referees and everything, but he said we feel we've matched up to two good teams in the last two away games, and the handball at Coventry, and then that the foul on the last man on Tyler Walker last time out. We've come on the wrong side of big decisions.
Yes, the man doesn't look for excuses, does he? He says it as it is. Grant said it as it is. Grant Brown just come up there, and I suppose we must mention that Jordan, his son, it's his last game today.
Yeah, working at the football club. He's moving on to pastures new. But anyway, back in on Lincoln City, and it's, as we said, it's not worry about excuses, but hope that some of those big decisions perhaps break Lincoln's way this afternoon.
Well, we're keeping all these swings and roundabouts, don't we? And it comes back, and you get everything in your favour eventually. But they've not had the rub of the green, that can be said for Lincoln. But having said that, they all want to, well, Michael, you have to make your own luck.
What about creating opportunities, creating goal-scoring opportunities? It's been the conundrum for Michael Appleton since he's come to the club.
Well, we keep saying, repeating ourselves. There's just a Kinde and Walker really centre forward wise, and probably Andrade that he could use as a forward player, injured at the moment. So it's been pretty tough, and that's where we expect him really to strengthen the team, don't we, in the forwards? Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see whether there's ins and outs really in that January transfer window. Just a few days away, we know one under-21 international coming in for Lincoln City in that window from the Republic of Ireland, and we'll watch and wait for him. But that game that he might feature on is the next one out. I don't know whether they can get it over the line in time for January the 1st to make him eligible for the game against Peterborough. But nonetheless, we're focused on this match this afternoon as the mascots make their way off the pitch and the sponsors, and we're going to be getting this game underway in the next few minutes, and it should be a cracker.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I mean, Ipswich team that need a win, as Lincoln need a win. So I'm expecting an entertaining, attacking game from both teams.
Well, Lincoln City will be kicking towards the South Park end of the ground. A growth of noise from the City fans. I'm sure we'll get something from the Ipswich support. Vast majority of them are standing instead of in their seats behind the goal in the Stacey West, away to our right. A stand that we're expecting probably not this summer coming, but the summer after will have some work to possibly extend its capacity, depending on how things are going on the pitch. Anyway, Lincoln will get this game underway, kicking towards the South Park end of the ground. I should say James Oldham. Second time at centre back for him. He was in the Checker Trade match earlier, I should say the Leasing.com match earlier in the season against Rotherham, and it's only his first full season in the Football League, but like the referee at Oxford a couple of days ago on Boxing Day. Right, the ball out of play. It's going to be an Ipswich throw. Dinasio will take it, the right back, down the line, looking for a teammate to win the flick on, but Bolger heads it away. Walker beaten to the head by two players. Lincoln closed down the distance, but the ball is cleared into the City half, and it's eventually Morale who pokes the ball back into the Ipswich half, and even in a few seconds it's been pretty frenetic stuff already as Ipswich went long over the top, down the left channel. Boswick is across, and Boswick sees it out of play at the cost of a throw.
Yeah, but I mean, it's early signs, but it looks like a little bit more direct Ipswich, Michael.
They look quite big as well to me, their team. I'm not sure if that's just a trick of the light or anything like that, but they certainly look a large unit. Anyway, Ipswich with a long throw into the Stacey West penalty area upcoming. Looking for the opening goal in this game. Thrown into the 6-yard box and it's half cleared by Bulger and then hooked away by Hesketh. Anderson tries to get after it. The ball comes back at Lincoln City. Broken down by O'Connor and he chips the ball down the channel. Walker's after it. Electric healed and he'll do enough to win a throw, will he? No. Hesketh comes in, wins it, keeps it in play. Going forward, picks up a throw. Well done, Jake Hesketh.
Yeah, the Ipswich defender, if I was his manager, I'd be disappointed. He should have gone in row Z. He tried to be cute, didn't he, and play over Walker. And Hesketh really closed him down quickly and won a free kick for Lincoln.
Especially when he's the right back and he's so far out of position being the only man back. Just a few spaces in the co-op stand opposite. Otherwise, looks a pretty full ground around here. There's something like 10,000 here at Tinslebank today. And they're all watching action in the South Park penalty area. Be a free kick with George Grant. Can Lincoln get the early lead? Ball into the box and it's gone over the heads of all of the attacking players and the defensive ones. Bostwick's going to try and see the ball out of play and he does at the cost of a throw for Lincoln City. Toffolo thinking about taking it early from the attacking left. Harry Anderson making a run, a short run from Hesketh and he'll get the ball and control it and he plays it into an Ipswich player and it goes out of play and is stopped by Michael Appleton. Plenty of movement, players offering themselves for the throw, but it's all the way back and picked up by Bulger and he spreads it to Bostwick and now it's with Eardley, right back for Lincoln City, chips it down the channel looking for Walker and just a long right puts the ball away from him, but City win it back pretty quickly on the halfway line. Little zip to their play now. And it's with Toffolo, the fullback, chips it forward, but it goes into one of the attacking players, the number 7, and it goes out of play off Edwards at the cost of a throw for City. Pretty much on the halfway line. It's BBC Radio Lincolnshire, Hope and Glory. Myself, Michael Horton, and Steve Thompson, your commentary team, still looking for our first attempt on goal. We've had I would say, a bright start to match the sun around the ground, but no attempts really on goal as of yet. Very early days. Chip down the channel. Walker goes up, flicks it on. Hesketh, I think George Grant should say, looked offside. But I think he knew it and stopped to let the ball out of play.
Yeah, just looking at Ipswich, Michael. At first glance, it looks like a 4-4-2, but at times when they lose the ball, it goes to a 4-4-1-1.
Bostwick long ball downfield, trying to walk and looked to have come from an offside position. Didn't get hold of the ball, and Hesketh being industrious, trying to get forward. He's going to get another chance, is he? George Grant caught by the midfielder. And I'll tell you what, it's the sort of early in the game, but halfway through the game, that could get you a card. I think the referee trying not to reach into his pocket too early.
Yeah, I think that's the right decision. I think common sense in these opening 5 minutes. It's a bit hectic at the moment, isn't it, from both teams? Neither team has got the foot on the ball, and it's been going from back to front.
Grant then, number 18. Had a couple of good games of late, I think, for Lincoln. Chance to try and load the ball into the box. And it's back post. Bostwick goes up, gets his head to the ball, but it's an easy one for Norris, the keeper, to gather in. But a shot, at least, on target after a couple of games without. Yeah,
he's definitely the go-to man, Grant, for set plays, free kicks, isn't he? I mean, I just looked right behind that free kick, great laces on it. Really, I don't think Bostwick could really get the power that he wanted, but it was a good free kick from Grant.
Ball already all the way through to Vickers in the Lincoln goal. He bowls it out to Toffolo, stabs it forward to Grant. Back to Toffolo, caught in the challenge. Second foul his first foul by the Ipswich player. I think the next Ipswich player, if they do it in the next couple of minutes, may find him on a yellow card. Not just because he's adding up as a team, I think. We've had a few, haven't they, already, Tomo? It was a bit late on Toffolo.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to have some leeway. I mean, we don't want to make it just a netball game, do we, where there's no physical contact. I mean, the referee's given him a bit of a talking to, Edwards, the number 7. He was late, obviously, but their ambulance haven't landed on the pitch, have they? 0-0 the scoreline. Josh Grant looking the wrong way for the free kick.
He swings it actually all the way across to Eardley on the right-hand side, and Eardley plants it forward to Harry Anderson to use his pace, to use his strength to go down the line, but sadly out of play.
Yeah, it's quite effortlessly where Grant passes the ball, isn't it? There's very little backlift. He's, like I say, he's very
technique,
good,
isn't it?
Very good technically.
Boswick slips on the ball but recovers and gives it to Eardley. Ball down the channel to Walker, picks up for Hesketh, bustles past one, looks to try and square it back in. Anderson! Oh! Scores for Lincoln! They have the 1-0 lead, and the Lincoln bench are as happy as the players.
Yeah, great link-up play, wasn't it? And really Ipswich got caught out with a 1-2 on the edge 18-yard box. And I was just going to say that it seems that Hesketh is playing a lot closer to Tyler Walker.
It's more of a 2, isn't it?
Yeah, he's playing 3 yards behind him instead of 10 yards behind him, and that was an excellent finish, wasn't it?
I saw something you got sort of getting to know at the moment. David Kerslake was down there, big celebration. You wonder if they've been doing a little bit of work on that kind of link-up play.
Well, it was excellent, wasn't it? Because it was hard for the Ipswich defenders. They didn't keep with the runners, and I mean, it still had to be finished, and I thought it was finished exceptionally well.
Harry Anderson's 5th goal of the season, his 3rd in the league. Took it very well.
I mean, what we've got to say, Michael, is people have the critics of Harry, but all right, it does lack a bit of consistency at times, but he does come up trumps, and he's a wholehearted 100% player.
Isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have him in the team any day of the week.
Ball over the top for Walker to chase after, and the keeper just about gathers it in. Well, this is going with the trend, if you like, between these recent games. Long ball downfield, we gathered in by Vickers, but the last 4 games, you recall, they were always draws at away from home. A 2-2 and a 0-0 in those 2 FA Cup ties. Here it's since about both 1-0 wins, one for Lincoln late on, one for Ipswich late on. The change, an early goal this time for Lincoln. They take the lead. For the record, head-to-heads here between the 2 teams. So not too many times they played each other. 4 wins for Lincoln, 4 draws, and 6 wins for Ipswich.
Well, obviously it's early minutes yet, but
George Grant goes up, good header. Hesketh's alive. Grant's through the middle if he can see him. He just pauses. Hesketh's got Toffolo, sprinting past the fullback, crosses it, wins the corner.
Two things I've come to notice for me, Michael. One is Eardley and Toffolo are really springing out wide and getting some width on the pitch. And as we've just said a minute ago, Hesketh is really in contact now with Walker.
Yeah. Well, it's clear the manager likes him, and he's getting stronger, it feels like, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think he's a cute player. I think he's a football player. Obviously, a little bit lightweight at times, but he is a football player. 1-0
the score. Can Lincoln double the lead? The referee pauses this corner. The air raid siren is stilled. He's just going to have a chat with Kean Bolger and a couple of the Ipswich players. They look a bit stunned to me, Ipswich. I think they didn't think that was quite in the script. The other thing to remember is this is a team that have lost a lot of games of late. Ball into the penalty area, half cleared by Ipswich, going to come back for Toffolo, and he gets it out to George Grant. First time ball in the area, headed away for a throw.
Yeah, and we understand there's been changes made by Ipswich, and I don't know about you, Michael, it looks a team to me that they look a bit dysfunctional at the moment.
Yeah. Well, Lincoln City, we know, have generally a good home record, apart from that aberration against Oxford. And there's a little backhill for Hesketh, can't quite reach Walker, cleared long to the halfway line. Boswick is underneath it, and with the help of Eardley gets it back to his goalkeeper, and that is the beauty of good experienced players. They do things simply and get Lincoln moving forward. Eardley under a little bit of a cul-de-sac at the moment. The fullback slips over, gives the ball straight to an Ipswich player, and Morrell just tries to block it off. Ipswich on the edge of the area looking for a long-range shot. Eardley will be desperate for this to be blocked. He blocks it himself, and the long-range shot hits the stand, and I'll have to hold my hand up as I said how well the experienced players did. They then overplayed in the rarity from Eardley of late, and he gave the ball away.
Yeah, I think Eardley got caught in 2 minds. He had his touch, he looked up, there was nothing out wide, they came inside, he's got that little Cruyff turn, hasn't he, and just got dispossessed just of an unforced error, but unusual for Neil Eardley to get caught like that.
Ipswich, lovely turn, moving through midfield, looking to get in on goal. Shot's a poor one though. That was a terrific piece of play from Flynn Downs. He turned and waltzed through Lincoln's midfield, but his shot couldn't match the move.
Well, I think both you and I said yesterday that there's not been many goals in the Lincoln Ipswich games, what they've played. But on the evidence of this, it's obviously 1-0 to Lincoln at the moment, which is terrific, but certainly an open game.
Lincoln City need to clear their lines. Bolger to Toffolo. Toffolo wins a throw.
I don't get that, Michael.
I'm just getting downfield.
If it's a left footer and Bolger's having it, he's got no left foot, Bolger.
We saw this auction, didn't we?
Yeah, there's only one way he can play it, which is to Toffolo. And I mean, I think I'd erase that out of the game if it was me.
Bumper crowd at Sinsel Bank have already seen a goal. Harry Anderson smashing the ball home from a neat move on the edge of the box. Lincoln City 1-0 up. Toffolo's throw. Walker goes up, can't flick it on. And Toffolo again plays a high ball over the halfway line defender. Just about heads it back, but Anderson picks it up in midfield. O'Connor does well to get out to Eardley just on the halfway line. The fullback plays it down the channel, was hoping to try and find Anderson Hesketh, but just slightly caught the side of his foot and went out of play for a throw to Ipswich inside their own half. 1-0 the difference.
Well, I think Eardley have decided that he got caught in possession once, it wasn't going to happen again, and rather safe than sorry, and pull the ball out of play.
Lincoln's young guns are working hard out of possession, pressing the ball, making it difficult for Ipswich to try and settle. They clear long, Eardley heads away. Ipswich will be desperate to get Norwood onto the ball, real powerful player who's caused Lincoln problems in the past. Eardley's stabbed the ball away, got caught a bit farther downfield, and he could do with Anderson being in his place. He's trooping back as Ipswich play the ball into the box, headed away by Bolger. A bit of a nothing ball there from Edwards, the number 7. It's back with the team all in blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks. And the team from Suffolk are attacking the Stacey West End with their supporters. Lincoln City getting as many players back. Toffolo goes in for the challenge. The Ipswich player claims it came off him. Assistant referee says no, it didn't. It's a goal kick, and this time I know exactly what Tomo's thinking. He wants this downfield. Ipswich are leaving Caden Jackson and Norwood on the edge of the penalty area and trying to make sure Lincoln aren't going to try and play it out from the back.
Yeah, I think Jen McComb's trying to set a ball. Look, we don't want it, we're going to kick the ball. We've just got a goal to the front, why give them a chance?
On clearance from Vickers. Walker tries to flick it on. Just breaks down for Lincoln. And Ipswich over the halfway line. And there's a collision between two players. Referee not too bothered, into the penalty area. Terrific from Vickers, terrific from Bolger. Ball out for a corner. Ipswich fans felt it was a penalty, but for me, Vickers got the ball and pushed it out of play for a corner.
Yeah, I mean, what Josh Vickers did really well there. He kept on his feet till the last possible moment and then forced Ipswich player wide of the goal, and I thought he palmed the ball out for a corner. Good decision.
Credit to the ref, he was in the right position to see it. Often they could get caught behind, but I didn't see a big complaint from the Ipswich bench. Just a few of the supporters. Quarter of an hour gone, ball into the Lincoln area, and it should be Lincoln to bring this away. They've got a chance to try and build a break if they can see it. George Grant brings it back. He's got a bit more time now, and then plays it through the middle. Walker stretches for it, can't get it through to Hesketh. Cut out by Ipswich, but if that was mistimed, they could have had a chance at Lincoln, but couldn't quite get the ball through with George Grant. They're now pressing the ball downfield. Ipswich, though, have got it behind the press and are playing a right to left ball onto Eardley's head, and that's what you call experience.
Yeah, that was a great header from Eardley back to his goalkeeper. It was a great position in play.
Eardley trying to find Anderson, gets intercepted. Anderson, who slipped, picks himself back up as Ipswich play the ball over the halfway line and out of play for a throw. It's BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Harry Anderson's goal, the difference. They lead 1-0 after just 15 minutes.
Good lively start from both teams, just what Lincoln wanted, wasn't it? An early goal, try and settle the nerves, give them a bit of a cushion, go 1-0 up. Ipswich, they've responded well to conceding a goal and playing some tidy football without threatening Lincoln at the moment.
Clearance into the South Park half, and Morrell hands it on, and it's a ball out for George Grant. He's have to sprint out there, but he's not up against a pacey fullback, and so he's got a chance. Ball into the box. Hesketh holding on to it. Oh, he just runs out of space and commits the foul, does he? No, the referee says play on, and Lincoln have got a chance on the edge of the area. Morrell right-footed. Keeper holds on to it. I think the Ipswich players may have felt there was a foul there, but the referee wasn't interested.
I think what's evident as well, Michael, is that Grant's getting in advanced positions as well, and when he's getting up around the opponent's 18-yard box, he's a clever player. There was a little over there where he let the ball run through, and a bit of inventiveness for Lincoln in the attacking third.
Lincoln City have a throw with Toffolo over their heads into midfield, and O'Connor, an experience that's so vital for Lincoln and these players. And now Wordley over the halfway line. It nearly clears the Ipswich defender. Ipswich trying to compete for it on the halfway line, getting it forward. Eardley in with the challenge. In there goes O'Connor, and O'Connor's caught in the face. I think that's just determination of two midfielders, and it's nice to see they both get up, little pat of each other's hand and carry on. There's a foul, but don't make the most of it.
Yeah, good to see, wasn't it? Both 100% committed, both going for the ball, and boots were raised by both players. The referee gave it to Lincoln, which is fair enough, and it was just a handshakes and let's get on with it. Good to see.
BBC Radio Lincolnshire, 94.9 FM. And it's going to be Vickers, City's keeper, who will clear, all in yellow, spirals over the halfway line. Walker's underneath it, can't win it, comes back into midfield. And Morrell tries to play the ball to O'Connor, just breaks down. And through the middle now come Ipswich. Lincoln with players back. Jackson stumbles on the edge of the area for Ipswich, but the ball's back on the halfway line at the moment as Ipswich go backwards rather than forwards, retaining possession, trying to find a way through Lincoln's red and white wall. And in comes the challenge there. I think it was from Toffolo. Referee didn't like it. I'm not so sure it was as bad as all that. The free kick's being taken a good 3 or 4 metres inside, but it's going nowhere. It's going backwards. Retain possession, the mantra at the moment for Ipswich, as they look to try and find an equaliser in this game against Lincoln City. Ball right through the middle. A real chance they can work it, but the player who read it was Bolger, and City breaking away here. Morrell over the halfway line. Walker down the right channel. Sprints wide. Hesketh in the middle. Walker hits the ball right into the penalty area, but can't quite keep it in play, and it goes out of play. I think a few were frustrated he went for the first time cross. I'm not, because Hesketh was in there. If he could have found him, it would have been an amazing ball, but it was in there. I
think he tried to play early, didn't he? So there was an opening for just 1v1 for Hesketh, and tried to play, just forced the issue a bit. But what Lincoln are doing really well is making Ipswich really pay for giving the ball away and catching them on a counter-attack.
And Lincoln clear again through Bolger. Bit of pressure coming in from Caden Jackson. It's out of play, and it's a throw. Very healthy attendance, if you're just tuning in. Looks like around the 10,000 mark, and we'll have probably similar in a couple of days against Peterborough. And Lincoln will feel they owe Peterborough one. They're a very good team, but a few little things went on in that game that I'm sure have been stored away. Throw for the team in blue, Ipswich, attacking the Stacey West end of the ground. Some late winter sunshine across the ground, a shaft of it. It might be a problem for Vickers if he has a shot directly at him, as it's out of play off Bolger for a corner.
Yeah, clever run from Norwood, and you heard Michael Appleton say that Norwood's a clever front player with good movement.
Spinning through the scorelines in League One when we get a break in play. Result from earlier on: Gillingham 1, Rochdale 0. Ball into the Lincoln penalty area. Bolger heads clear, and then Hesketh heads it further away, and he was caught from behind. That looks a little bit of a wild one from Flynn Downs, but the referee at the moment looks to be keen to keep cards in his pocket, which I think we're all for, but I thought it was a little bit.
I think he's doing well. I think he's doing well, the referee. I think there's going to come a time. I think he's probably getting to the end of his tether. I would think if there's a bit of a dodgy challenge by any player, Lincoln or Ipswich, in the next 4 or 5 minutes, then he might just brandish a yellow card.
Harry Anderson's goal, the difference in this game early on. Well set up by Jake Hesketh, 1-0 the difference. Elsewhere, Sunderland, who Lincoln play on the 4th of January, are leading at Doncaster by a goal to nil. Blackpool 1-0 up at Tranmere. Coventry 2-1 up at the leaders Wycombe. Wycombe's mantra, don't concede goals, really. It doesn't seem to work today. Hesketh just out muscle, but George Grant heads down on, trying to get it through to Walker. Comes back and Morrell wins it, and he wins it again. And now inside comes Toffolo, just caught, referee allowed it to play on, all the way back to Vickers, who under a little bit of pressure from Norwood will clear. Flicked on by Walker, controlled by George Grant, trying to play it around the corner for Walker. City fighting for it in midfield, and that ball's going to go backwards, and Lincoln have got a chance to break here. Walker on the edge of the area, Hesketh inside him. Walker back to George Grant. Now it's with Morrell, and the number 19 pings the ball. Lovely pass to Anderson. Eardley outside him. First time cross from Eardley into the area. Hesketh holds it. George Grant comes charging in. Can't quite control the header, and it just goes wide, and it's going to be bought away by Ipswich. But really lively stuff from Lincoln City, trying to build a decisive attack. Now comes Caden Jackson for Ipswich, down the right hand side, the number 9 squares it to the area, blocked off by Lincoln, cross into the area again, cleared away by City. Hesketh trying to take on the defender, falls over holding his head, referee not interested. Ipswich pushing forward in blue. The referee's going to go back for a head injury for the Lincoln player. If it's a genuine head injury, he's absolutely doing the right thing.
Yeah, it's a contentious decision, is it? It's a head injury referee by the new laws. That's to stop it, but you can feel for Ipswich. They've got they're in the ascendancy. They're going forward. They've got 3v3 at the back against Lincoln, but the referee brings it back for the head.
What have you made of the game so far, Tomo?
I think it's good. I think it's lively. Ipswich they've certainly come to try and win the game. What I've been impressed with Lincoln, Michael, it's been a really bright, brisk start, hasn't it? They look energetic. There's a yard in the step, and we've said on a couple of games where they've looked a bit lethargic and not started well. I mean, that's away from home, maybe buoyed by a full house, but they've certainly started this game really well, energetic and closing down, good on the counter attack. I think Grant is getting closer to Walker. I think Hesketh is getting closer, and what's more noticeable is that Eardley and Toffolo getting into advanced positions.
Just the one game in the Premier League at the moment, 1-0 still to Arsenal, which would mean if that stayed the same, 4 defeats in 7 league games for Frank Lampard. It's funny how you can read form, isn't it? Doing very well in some games. They look terrific against Spurs. I should say there's nothing going on the pitch at the moment. They look terrific, I thought, against Spurs a week or so ago.
It's not as easy as you think, this managing Frank.
All right, Derek. I knew my name was Frank.
I must give him a call.
Anyway.
I bet he's worried with his millions in the bank, but never mind.
It's difficult, isn't it? We are, 21 minutes gone in this game. I should say 21 to go in this first half. Not sure the clock is at the right time. Away to our right, it seems to have lost about 15 minutes. Anyway, Hesketh wants to come back on, but it's going to be a drop ball, which, well, not a drop ball, it's given to Ipswich. They get their attack back underway. Ball swung into the area, cleared away by O'Connor. Walker stabs it to a teammate, Lincoln. They can sort this out, and they have. I've got Harry Anderson sprinting forward. It's 3 against 3. Anderson pauses, looks for support, back to Eardley. Eardley with a second touch will play the ball into the area, headed away by an Ipswich defender. And Anderson did the right thing, and it's won back by Eardley, who's pulled down. That's a really poor piece of play from the Ipswich player for me, Alan Judge, who scored the goal that won the game in the cup here. And there was a blatant pull down of a player, and Lincoln will take it every day of the week.
Yeah, I think Harry Anderson did well there. He looked up, he was confronted by 2 Ipswich defenders, checked back, gave it to Eardley, and Eardley was fouled and won a free kick in a dangerous position.
So free kick on the right. George Grant once again over it, and City find a goal to double their lead against Ipswich here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Myself, Michael Horton, Steve Thompson, your commentary team. burst of noise for the Lincoln fans. Come on, Lincoln, can they find a goal? Right-footed ball to the back post. Bolger heads it across goal. O'Connor chases after it. Eased off the ball, gets back onto it, plays it back to Grant. Grant wide, looking for the cross. Cuts inside, ball cleared away. Ipswich live to fight another day. As a foul by O'Connor, who, frustrated, kicks the ball out of play. Still 1-0 to the Imps.
Yeah, I just wondered what a Bolger. He just seemed to turn his head, didn't he?
Yeah.
And a bit like a lighthouse. I thought he went the wrong way, and instead of heading towards it, which is a goal, headed back away from the goal. But I just think that Bolger should be more of a threat from set plays. He's a big unit, 6'3", 6'4".
And I think defensively in the last couple of games he's done really well. It's just, you think, like you said, he's had those opportunities, half opportunities in games. Bostwick fighting for the ball, headed away, I should say Eardley fighting for the ball, headed away by Bostwick. Hesker slips over, Walker coming across, trying to get hold of it, and Ipswich have it. Moving it forward, that's poor for the fullback, kicks it straight out of a play and his manager.
Yeah, I think with Bostwick, Bolger and Shackler when he's fit, there's always 2 for 3 spots, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, that's an area of the game where you'd say Lincoln are reasonably well blessed, aren't they, as long as they're fit. Thrown down the line, Walker can't get hold of it, it's headed out of play by an Ipswich player. And we talked about Ipswich at the start of the game having pace, but it's not been evident yet. There's still time for that. Toffolo looking for the throw, throws it down the line, and it's Walker who wins it. Back to Toffolo, really tight on the edge of the pitch. Esketh barged over, cleared away as far as Bolger, who heads it back into the Ipswich half. Up goes O'Connor, they're flicking on, but it's gone straight to a blue shirt. And Lincoln City are having a file back to the halfway line. Ipswich in possession, looking for their first goal in this game. Out towards the left-hand side, Judge now. Back into the midfield area. Dazelle, high ball to the edge of the area, headed into the area now. Little back heel back, but Bolger has time to clear, although it goes straight to the right back, who plays a decent ball inside the area. Eardley comes across, supports his centre halves and heads that out of play. Good play from Eardley in support of the 2 centre halves.
Yeah, good defensive header from Eardley there. I just wonder whether the right back from Ipswich seems to have got a bit of a knock.
Ball into the box, Ipswich trying to get the chance to score here. Lincoln clear it. Ipswich though have it on the edge of the penalty area. Long range shot, hits a Lincoln ankle, spoons up in the air into the box. City have to be careful with their challenges. 2 or 3 City players charge it down at the cost of a corner. Fantastic to see that desire from the Lincoln players. The one thing they have to check is just not diving in all the time, and they did well then.
Yeah, some good blocks there, 2 good blocks. I think one from O'Connor, one from Bostwick. Denied Ipswich a shooting opportunity. Ipswich
raising the pressure. Lincoln seeing the ball out of play off the back. I think it is of George Grant, who's the number 18 who's gone out there. An absorbing game of football so far. Not too many chances on goal, but Lincoln with that Harry Anderson goal, the difference. Stacey West end of the ground, plenty of movement from blue shirts and red and white stripes. George Grant just being beckoned a little further away. One of the Ipswich players is showing how he can referee a game, which is very good of him. And it's driven to the penalty spot. Bostwick can't get on the end of that. Bolger goes up, headed goalwards. Vickers with a single fist gets it away, and it bounces away. And it's Toffolo who'll clear long, but almost sets Ipswich on their way again. Norwood though takes it out of play. It's going to be a throw, and I would have thought Lambert happy with the desire of his players, the Ipswich players, to keep it in play, and Michael Appleton happy with the determination of his team to hold on to their clean sheet.
Well, I thought it was well chased by Toffolo, because it was going to go out for an Ipswich throw, and Toffolo chased it and really made a good clearance.
Tell you what, there's plenty of people up in that Ipswich box, isn't there? Look at it. It's like Piccadilly Circus.
Well, I think you're only allowed 1 standing.
Yes, well, there's 3 coaching staff standing, and I thought the subs had to get out of the box and go and warm up.
They're going to make a substitution, Ipswich, Michael. I'm not sure whether it's the right back that's struggling, but they're indicating that they want to make a change.
Ipswich throw the ball in. George Grant goes in for the challenge, headed away by Toffolo. Morrell can't get it clear, comes back at Toffolo again, hooks it away. Ipswich pick up the ball with the number 7 Edwards. Toffolo getting the challenge in. Edwards as the cross is a bit too deep and goes all the way across the goal, and it should be very well cleared by Erdley, and Anderson's going to try and turn it into a pass up against the defending player, gets past him, goes to the floor. Referee gives the decision the other way, and I suspect that was probably the right decision. Anderson looking to avoid the throw and pick him a free kick, but he couldn't do so. Referee playing an advantage for a foul by a Lincoln player. Ipswich now on the right. D'Anasio, the right back, who Tom thinks might be about to come on, involved in the play as they move it around on the edge of the box, looking for a way through. Lincoln blocking it off. Challenges coming in, and how can that be a free? How can that be a free kick by Morrell? It can only be for a challenge before, Tommy, because Morrell took the ball cleanly.
I don't see a foul there. I just think that Morrell just slipped on the Ipswich player. I think the referee's been very generous to Ipswich on that one. It's a dangerous position as well for this free kick.
Burst of noise from the Ipswich fans behind Josh Vickers' goal in the Stacey West stand. And it's been a real lively game. Lincoln lead by a goal to nil. Harry Anderson the difference. What are Ipswich going to provide? Is it going to be, I'm not sure, is it Norwood who's lined up to take it?
No, it's for me it's got to be a left footer this, but
well, Garbutt, the left back's there. Number 29 steps up and puts it into the bottom of the net. Fantastic finish to the fullback. It's 1-1.
Well, as I said, Michael, for me it has to be a left footer. It seemed to really sneak into that bottom left-hand corner of Josh Vickers' goal, didn't he? And it's another contentious decision against Lincoln, but you have to accept it as a free kick. And I'd like to see it again. You'd think that maybe could have done better defending it.
Yeah, I mean, I can only think it was for a foul before the challenge from Morrell, because he looked to take the ball very cleanly.
Well, you get punished for decisions, and Lincoln have got punished for that one.
On clearance downfield, Walker tries to go up for it, seen away by the defender. Walker's holding his ankle. Should be a little something of a concern for Lincoln. 1-1 the scoreline then, here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. And Ipswich with Garbutt. Plays it high over the halfway line. Boswick looking to head it away, and does.
I thought what was noticeable, Michael, is although Garbutt scored, there was no celebration, was there?
Well, no, he
was like, get to
the
halfway line and get into our half and let's kick off again as well. You know, we want to win this game.
It was as if it was the last minute as well. Lincoln referees decided it was a foul. Sensing Lincoln starting to feel a bit aggrieved with the referee.
Well, he certainly can't. Remember in the old days, called him a homer, didn't the referee? He's certainly not a homer, this one, is he?
No. Some always say they go with the big teams. But nonetheless, you still have to defend the free kick, but it was questionable. Keeper's come a long way out of his area to take this, right over by the side of the pitch. And he mistimed the ball, and he'll be well out of his way. And if he slipped over like that, headed away by Bolger, bounces up, Walker tries to get hold of it, and charging after it was Harry Anderson, comes back at Lincoln City, headed away by Toffolo and Morrell, and then George Grant plays a high ball over the halfway line, and the Ipswich player puts it straight out of play for a throw, and he throws it away. Lincoln retrieve it quickly. Toffolo with the throw, looking for Walker, bounces through Ipswich, trying to clear it, but Hesketh's too alive to that, and Hesketh's hold on to it right down by the corner flag. Excellent from him. George Grant, 2 players around him, back to Hesketh, and now it's with Toffolo, and then Morrell, the number 19, scampers forward, back with Toffolo. He's going backwards at the moment, but Lincoln holding on to it. We're in their own half now as Bolger plays it all the way back to Vickers. Caden Jackson, I should say, closing in on him, and it's cleared away by Vickers, bounces through. Boswick's all very frenetic at the moment, as now Bolger plays it back to his goalkeeper, and Vickers ball, side foot it, and gets away with it. Morrell brought down. Lincoln could be the masters of their own downfall here if they're not careful. Vickers comes out and gathers it in. And I know I'm now going to hear a 1-minute lecture from Steve Thompson about playing ball out of the back and safety and risk.
I mean, unforced errors, isn't it? And yeah, the risk and safety factor. I understand teams now with this back pass and playing it around their own 18-yard box, but there's a time when you have to put your foot through the ball and not give the opponents an opportunity.
1-1 the scoreline here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. City took the lead first through Harry Anderson, neat build-up play, interlinking play, but then a leveller for Ipswich. And they're offside here as they get forward, with Garbutt taking a free kick, pretty central, left-footed, went over the wall low and low into Josh Vickers' bottom left-hand goal by the bottom left-hand post.
It's just silenced the Lincoln supporters, that equaliser.
Walker, excellent, gets away from the defender to the byline, tries to put it back, wins a corner.
Yeah, good play by Walker. Good pace down the left-hand side, beat the central defender, just couldn't get the ball into the box. It's been a good opening off, Michael, hasn't it, from both teams?
Absolutely. BBC Radio Lincolnshire, hope and glory on a Sunday in the festive period. If you had forgotten, it is a Sunday. So corner from the attacking right, South Park end of the ground. Air raid siren in effect. Ball into the box, and is that headed behind for a corner? What's the referee saying? No, it had already gone behind.
Yeah, as much as we praise Grant for the delivery, that was a poor one, wasn't it? Overhit it right across the face of the goal and out for a goal kick. Very vociferous, aren't they, the Ipswich supporters, since they got the equaliser?
Well, they woke up, didn't they? It's going to be a chance to clear downfield. I think there's talking to our colleagues already, something kind of not assumption would be the wrong word, but something close to that they should be going straight back into the Championship next year. As we've seen with many clubs at different levels, you never quite get back to where you think you should be as quickly as you want to. Doesn't always happen.
It's right back at Ipswich. It's infuriating the manager, because 1 minute he keeps indicating he's all right, the next minute he's limping.
Walker takes the throw from Toffolo. Toffolo cuts inside. Nice ball from Toffolo to Morrell, and he's seen Eardley wide on the right-hand side. A ball Lincoln like to play. Back to O'Connor. O'Connor into the feet of Harry Anderson. Anderson looking for Eardley wide on the right-hand side. Chip ball into the box. Walker came in for it. Cleared away by Ipswich City, fighting to win it back. Referee doesn't like the challenge. And it'd be fair to say Lincoln aren't getting the rub of the green.
No, they're certainly not, has it? Any sort of niggly free kick at the moment, it's going Ipswich's way. Just as I said that, Michael, the right back's decided that maybe he has injured his ankle.
6.5 minutes to half time.
Although both goalkeepers have not had saves to make, it's been an entertaining first half, hasn't it? It's been good football from both teams. It's been end-to-end, lots of counter-attacking from both teams.
Well, the right back is down, he's getting his treatment. Take you through the score lines across the country. In the Premier League, the early kick-off, Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0. And then in League 1, games with goals. Gillingham beating Rochdale by a goal to 0. Oxford 1-0 up at Wimbledon. Bolton leads Shrewsbury by a goal to 0. Sunderland 1-0 up at Doncaster, as we know in our commentary game here. Lincoln 1, Ipswich 1. The MK Dons 1, Portsmouth 0. Blackpool 1-0 up at Tranmere. Coventry leaders Wickham by 2 goals to 1 at Wickham. It's sort of light around the ground, isn't it? Those
sort of scores at the moment, it just tells you this league, it's so indifferent, isn't it? I mean, Doncaster go with Peterborough, win 3-0, then losing at home 1-0.
And it tells you were better off playing Bolton earlier in the season.
I think you said that anyway, didn't you? When they were in disarray, and given the time, I think this fullback's going to come off Michael, and the right back Fraser. He's doing his best impersonation of Douglas Bader, I think, at the moment. He's
not exactly rushed, is he? Interestingly, a small point, but the floodlight's not come on yet on the opposite side of the ground to us. It's certainly darkened over. sort of like a half light.
I'm surprised the referee's not indicated that he wants them on. This is possibly the longest walk off the pitch.
Like the Swiss marathon runner in the '84 Olympics. He is taking his time.
Freddie Sears, well, he's not a fullback.
No. Been at Ipswich sometimes, hasn't he?
Looks like Gwyn Edwards, who started wide right, has gone to right back, and Sears has gone to his position, which is wide right.
So 1-1 the scoreline, in case you tuned in and you thought we were just talking about injured players. It is 1-1. Harry Anderson scoring first, and then a fine free kick from Luke Garbutt to level things at the moment. Ball to the edge of the Imps area. Bostwick heads clear. The City fighting to win it back, and O'Connor does that. And then ironically, as you can hear from the fans, gets a free kick.
Oh, it's great, and I love football. Great.
Eardley, the right back for Lincoln, plays a ball down the channel looking for Walker to get on the end of it. Defender heads clear. Anderson nearly wins it back, but Eardley does on the halfway line and plays it all the way back to his goalkeeper Vickers. Hard to judge whether he should have done better or not with the free kick. Well, certainly a well placed free kick.
Is that not kicking the ball away?
Well, he looked out of play already to me.
He's not followed it 70 yards into the back of the stand there, Norwood.
Throw for Lincoln. Down the line to the halfway line. And a play. So Ipswich get another throw. And City win it back with O'Connor. The referee's, I don't know what he's seen now.
I think he's saying that, listen, the ball never came into play from Lincoln's throw. It needs to be taken again.
It took his time to decide that, didn't they?
Well, I think the Ipswich player decided, oh, we'll have it.
Eardley does well, dummies the attacking player and plays it wide to the left to Toffolo, and he prods the ball forward into George Grant, who's caught from behind. Hesketh shoved over, and I'm going to say what I said to you 20 minutes ago.
I think the number 7's going to get booked, Michael, because he's had 2 offences like that.
Well, that's my exact point. He's having a few now. George Grant naked to space. If Ipswich don't, the number 7 is the right back, isn't he? Well, that's going to be interesting. It might be a temptation to shift Harry Anderson across or to force another yellow card out of him. He's now the right back.
Well, he's done that on 2 occasions, hasn't he? Left his foot in, the number 7, Edwards, and I thought straight away the referee would book him.
What's going on? What is going on here?
The free kick's in the wrong place. Oh, there we go. So it needed to be half a yard. Oh, no, it's... My word.
Seriously. Long ball downfield, Walker underneath it. That's climbing. Surely, referee. Hesketh into the box. It's back with George Grant. A lifted ball. Harry Anderson! Off the post! Oh, so close to the second goal for Lincoln. Back with Toffolo. And Hesketh. Now with George Grant. Neat feet. George Grant to the corner of the box. Turns 2 players. Plays it neatly out to Toffolo. Toffolo to Grant. He tried to play around the corner, being forced back, but he gets it to Morrell. Ball gets away from Morrell, and the Ipswich player, do me a favour. It's not a foul. The referee doesn't think so either.
It's going a little bit silly now, isn't it?
I'm sorry, that's play acting.
Let's go back to Harry Anderson again, Michael, and give him some praise for getting across that defender.
He got near post, didn't he?
I keep saying getting across the first defender, and he did that, and he was unlucky, wasn't he? Just at the outside of the post. But the referees
look at that.
Needs to have a word with the
He's alive!
Players.
There's nothing worse than a player who just spirals on the floor. 10 seconds later is walking away normally without any aid.
Seems a brave decision, Michael, from Ipswich. Those are right back, and a player who starts wide right. I know we've seen Harry Anderson play right back, but Edwards to me looks nothing like a full back.
Going to be a Toffolo throw. Not getting much help from the bench. 3 minutes. Still no floodlights. Does seem a bit dark, doesn't it? I'm not the only one, are I?
And they got 10 pence for the meter.
Ball stabbed forward, well read by Bolger. High one. Walker's after it. Ipswich players may not be aware of that. Headed away well, though, by the centre-back. Harry Anderson tries to win it. Plays the ball into the attacking Ipswich player. Gets around him. Nearly wins it. Pressurising the Ipswich fullback. Sliding challenge. Headed back towards goal. City fighting for it. Tyler Walker comes up with it. And he plays it round the corner to Eardley. Anderson making the run. Eardley can't quite find him. Ipswich cut it out. Clear it to the halfway line. Great from O'Connor and Morrell. O'Connor turns, and outside of his Eardley. Back towards Boswick. And Boswick plays the ball wide to the left to Toffolo. Heads it forward into George Grant. Toffolo charges after it. Loses out to the fullback, the defender. And then nearly wins it back. It goes out at the cost of a throw.
Yeah, still trying to force the issue. Lincoln trying to get the ball out wide to Anderson. Really, it's been starved of the ball this first half, Harry Anderson.
It's forward and headed away by Toffolo, but straight into midfield where Ipswich have the bodies in the right place. And at 1-1 they look to move forward and try and find a goal to take the lead just before half-time. City with players back, all bar Hesketh and Walker. They win it back with Eardley, and Eardley's got nobody around him. He checks and then he drives the ball forward, and Walker's through. Walker against the goalkeeper, lifts it! Oh, absolutely stunning from Walker! Lifts it over the keeper. It would light up the Premier League. It lights up Tinselbank. What a finish, Tomo.
So what you want about triangles and passing it and keeping possession. That was just a long ball down the middle, well played. Caught the centre back out, Chambers of Ipswich, and that's what he wants, Walker, doesn't he? That's what he needs. He's better running to the opponent's goal, and he's lobbed it from all of 22, 23 yards into the back of the net. Excellent finish.
And he knows he's probably, when he's making that thought about the shot, he knows he's probably going to get clobbered by the goalkeeper.
Well, I think the goalkeeper did well for his pitch, because he knows that if he does that, he's off the pitch.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, as soon as that left Walker's foot, Walker knew that was in.
Well, for me, that's up there for Lincoln goal of the season. Fantastic finish. 2-1 to the Imps. And if you're worried about how much stoppage time, have a quick look at that for you. On the, we've got about 5 seconds plus, maybe 30. Well, wherever you get your goals, that will be there for sure.
Well, it changes the team talk for both managers. Paul Lambert, his manager, he's thinking going in 1-1. Okay, we're away, we're quite happy, playing all right.
I just thought, when it was going over, I thought it's going to fall just before the 6-yard box and bounce over the goal. And thankfully he got it that extra, 2 metres on, and it's a brilliant finish.
Was it Boswick who played the ball? I think
Eardley, wasn't it, over the top?
It was a terrific ball, because
it's what you said, there's no such thing as a bad long ball at all.
If you can get that in one pass, and it's a pass like that, then so be it.
And Lincoln are pushing forward, looking for a third on the edge of the area. Tyler Walker in the area, loops it over to the back, headed away by an Ipswich player, and that is the whistle for half-time. And that's been a total, and it's just squaring up inside the penalty box. We can do with that as well. That will just add a bit of spice to the second half. Well, as we said, in recent weeks Lincoln have got results here. We haven't had thrillers of games, Tomo. We've had 3 terrific goals in this first half, and Lincoln 2-1 up.
Commentary of Lincoln City in League One
with BBC Radio Lincolnshire.
2 teams back out. Ipswich kicking towards the South Park end of the ground in the second. I think plenty of people calling queues for toilets and for drinks. You're going to miss the start of this second half, where Lincoln are 2-1 up, thanks to that fine finish from Tyler Walker and an early strike from Harry Anderson. In between it, that finish from the free kick from Luke Garber. Plenty more, I'm sure, to come from Ipswich and indeed Lincoln in this second half. Bit of spice between the teams, you always like this, and a fantastic attendance as well, as Ipswich look to get this game really by the scruff of the neck. But terrific play from Toffolo, clears to the halfway line, headed back at Lincoln by Ipswich. Morrell lets it bounce and is picked up by the Ipswich midfield. And now out towards the left-hand side. And Ipswich trying to find a way through. And at Lincoln. But it's going backwards at the moment on the halfway line. And Lincoln would love to get a little bit of possession if they could. George Grant just scurries after it, working hard, trying to keep 2 banks of 4 between them and the defence. And George Grant wins it. It's pulled down free kick. Well done, George Grant. Just you need that, don't you, Tomo? Because Ipswich started really like that yellow card as well, like a house on fire, yellow card as well. But Lincoln just needed to slow it down, didn't they?
Yeah, interesting that the Ipswich manager sent his team out a good 2 or 3 minutes before Lincoln. He's obviously not happy with his team and certainly conceding the second goal. But yes, just slowed the game down. I mean, obviously Ipswich should come out with a tempo and try and get themselves back in with an equaliser.
Didn't say who it was who got the card, did you, Tomo? I can't see.
No, well, they've only just
20, I think.
No, just put the lights on, haven't they? Just found the light switch.
They put the penny in the meter. I think it's the number 20. Let's just check on that. I think it's Freddie Sears who came on, who's got the yellow card. Vicious ball, well, not vicious, but a fast ball fired back at Vickers, and the Lincoln keeper does well and gives it to Boswick. And we will talk you through the 2 teams when we get a break in play, but Ipswich have picked it back up and looking to try and build and go forward. They're little on the edge of the D. Going to have to be a good challenge from Toffolo. It is, and it breaks for Hesketh. Walker turns, runs out to his left. Hesketh gets forward, plays it out. That'll be a yellow card when we come back, but Walker on the edge of the area, over the top, and that's going to be surely a card from the referee. Yes, it is. I was going to say, pretty blatantly, but they're mounting these cards for Ipswich, Tomo.
Yeah, just saying, must be getting worried for George Bailey, the fact they're picking yellow cards up, and as a manager you think, well, one more. George Bailey, that was going by 2 excuses there, wasn't it? Poor Lambert. I was saying, but no, it's counted. I was reminiscing. And
I should say, got the yellow there.
Yeah, Paul Lambert must be thinking that too many yellow cards and another one, and it's a red and
it's a very different game. Lincoln 2-1 up. Ipswich pushing forward. Toffolo cuts it out of the left back, and he's pushed over. And I tell you what, sometimes you can overhype your players in the change rooms, can't you, Tomo? They've come out, they're kicking everything in sight, and I think that Toffolo's going to get some treatment. But that was Norwood. He's lucky not to get another yellow. I think the referee would be reticent to give 3 yellows at the start of the second half, but he's always fired his team up too much.
Well, Norwood has got history, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, at Tranmere he was a bit of a short fuse, so I mean, absolutely, you say to your players you want them to compete, but you want them to use the heads, not the heart.
Yeah.
And the last thing you want it to do is to compound the situation by getting a player sent off.
And it's worth remembering that this scoreline is part of a wider run of results where they're struggling, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, it seems to the player. I mean, sometimes the players, it's obviously they're working hard for the manager, and they're probably getting carried away with the situation. But interesting, I mean, Mike Upton doesn't get involved with a forced official much, does he? And he's
over there now, isn't he?
He's having a chat. I mean, we've not seen anything like that with Michael before.
Right, so let's take you through the 2 teams then. Lincoln with Vickers in goal, Eardley, Bostwick, Bolger and Toffolo the back 4. Anderson scorer with the first goal, his 5th of the season, 3rd in the league. Morrell, O'Connor and Grant. Hesketh and Tyler Walker, 11th goal of the season for him, 9th in the league. All well worth watching wherever you see your goals. On the bench for City today, Grant Smith, congratulations to him on the birth of his daughter. Jack Payne, Ellis Chapman, Callum Connolly, Aaron Lewis, Max Melbourne and John Akinde. Ipswich team will get a break in play. Lincoln back in possession. O'Connor dispossessed, and that's coming right through the middle. Lincoln are going to have to be very careful. Bostwick stretches for it. Ipswich player goes down, and there's going to be a free kick right on the edge of the area. And I think if Bostwick gets a yellow, that's about the right decision, I think. Tomo, I think it's probably about the right decision.
Yeah, I just think Michael O'Connor just got caught in possession. That's one thing that Michael can't afford to do, is it? And then
he hasn't got yellow carded.
Well, I find that amazing if he hasn't, because
well, he's been still pulled across.
Yeah, it's got to be a yellow, hasn't it?
Yeah, has to be. That's the one thing, Michael Bostwick, a wholehearted sort of a player, but you don't want him to expose him to a pacey player one-on-one, do you?
Yeah, it was the fact that Michael had kind of got dispossessed and they played the ball forward really quickly, Ipswich, and Michael Bostwick sort of got level with him, didn't he, and a bit outpaced.
Judge Sayers and Garvin over this free kick. It's virtually on the edge of the penalty. It's 20 centimetres the outside of it.
Yeah, it's going to be a right foot to this one, Michael.
Well, it looks like it could be Judge, scorer of a goal against Lincoln. Garbutt's over it with his left foot, and he hits the Lincoln wall, and it's going to go behind for a corner, and I think City will take that. They look. Well, we've seen from the free kick already with the goal, but they pose a real threat for those free kicks around the box.
Yeah, wrong decision there with a left foot. No chance of getting that into the bottom or top left-hand corner.
So attacking left, South Park end of the ground, a glorious red sunset behind the stand as Lincoln try to clear their line. Still is inside the area. Bolger puts his right foot through it and clears to the halfway line, and Lincoln have got a chance to break here. It's Hesketh, and it's over on the left-hand side. Toffolo pushes forward. City trying to turn defence into attack. Toffolo ball down, free kick. And both of those Ipswich players on that side of the pitch are on the edge, Tomo, because they have both been talked to.
Toffolo must be thinking, how many Ipswich players have I upset? He's getting a bit of a kicking down that left-hand side, isn't he? And been on the end of 2 or 3 free kicks.
David Kerslake has got across for a chat with the fourth official.
Phil Joslin, who's the assessor for the referee, I just had a quick word with him at half-time. He thought the referee had done okay.
6-1-7. Doing a positive as the ball's into the area. Keeper punches it, misses it. Driven back in by Hesketh. Ipswich trying to clear. A terrific save from the Ipswich keeper. He must have seen that right at the last moment. Dived low to his right, forced it away. Excellent save from Norris.
Yeah, not convincing defending from Ipswich. Couldn't deal with the free kick, and as you said, it bobbled about. Great save from the Ipswich keeper and a bit of a erratic clearance.
2-1 Lincoln City. Eardley checked at half-time. It was his pass for Walker's goal, and he's picked him a throw, and been such a great signing for Lincoln, hasn't he, over the last 2.5 seasons.
Yeah, I don't want people to think I'm his agent, giving him the man of the match for the last 2 games, but he's been terrific.
Lincoln pushing forward, back to the mentioned Eardley, right-footed into the area, back post Grant, oh, and he nearly pulled it down and got the shot away. That would have been pretty special. It's back with Grant. He's got the overlapping run of Toffolo, intercepted before he finds him, and Ipswich clear their lines, and City showing they're not going to settle for 2-1. Ball in behind with Grant right on the corner flag, wins a corner.
Yeah, terrific start from Lincoln in this second half, really putting the pressure on Ipswich, turning them round, getting down the sides. Grant being really effective down that left-hand side as well.
Floodlights very much in full effect around central bank. It looks sort of like a reddish sky around us. Dramatic scene and a dramatic game. Lincoln with a corner into the area, cleared away by Ipswich. Toffolo, we're going to get it back towards Grant. Grant dinks it in for Toffolo's run in behind. Fullback tries to get on it, falls over, and the referee has given the free kick the other way. 50-50 won that one for me, Tommy.
Well, I think Toffolo decided if I'm having a bit of a free kick frenzy against me, then I'll repay you. But good tempo to the second half.
What a great advert for League One.
Well, both teams come to play, haven't they? And you can see the more agitated manager, which is Paul Lambert. He's got surrounded by 2 of his staff.
Why is he taking the free kick from that far away? It was on the byline.
I don't know, Michael.
We saw earlier Bolger getting told off, didn't we, for about 30 centimetres out of place, a foot. O'Connor shields it and plays it wide to the left. And really, once again in the interview, talking about O'Connor, they could have won it back, come back to that in a second. Tyler Walker, excellent, out to Eardley on the right. Anderson on the overlap. Eardley through the middle. Eardley drives it past the post. Oh, the goal lit up in front of him. Couldn't quite get the bend in the right angle, but worth a try.
Well, there was only one thing in his mind as he drove on, and if you don't buy a ticket, you can't win a raffle, and that's what Eardley did. 25 yards, strikes a good ball just wide of the post.
But interesting, O'Connor, the manager, saying in his pre-match interview, he's so important for what we try to do. And I said, well, do you have a contract about 60 minutes? He said it's not a written one, but he's always aware of how long O'Connor can go with the injury problems he does have. Bolger barged over, and I think that's really cute defending, Tomo, because he was being stretched by Kane and Jackson, and he made sure that Jackson went down and he went down and he picked up the free kick.
Well, what he did very nicely and very cutely, Bolger, he got himself between his goal and his opponent, and as you said, he's got himself where he would have to be fouled.
Terrific game. Hopefully you're enjoying it here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. We're back on New Year's Day. Lincoln City up against Peterborough United. Headed on, George Grant charging in behind. Defender goes up, gets no direction on it. George Grant inside the area, having his shirt pulled. Referee not interested. Hesketh with the challenge. Hesketh wins it back. Referee doesn't see a shirt pull, but sees the challenge from Hesketh.
For 1 minute there, Michael, I thought it was going to be a penalty for Lincoln.
He pulled him.
So I think it looked like he got hold of him, didn't he? And
Grant was almost too honest, I'd say.
Great tempo, great energy, but from both sides.
Yeah, but helped by a terrific atmosphere under the floodlights. The referee has now seen the infringement the other way. It's going to be left for Bolger, who I think has done well today. It's just the only demerit, and it's not his fault, he's the right footer playing at left centre half, is when he gets caught in those playing out from the back moments.
No, he's certainly defensively done well.
Anderson goes up for the ball, tries to flick it on. Defender sees it across, but Walker won't let him and wins the throw. Throw goes to Ipswich. Mind you, some of these Ipswich players are on yellow cards in important positions that Lincoln will try to drive through on them. Toffolo could be a very important player in the next 20 minutes or so, I think. He gets a chance to drive at the Ipswich defenders. Walker goes up, heads it on. Anderson has to check his run, and it's out of play. And Ipswich look a little hesitant. Worth remembering, not on a great run of form, so confidence won't be at its highest. And sometimes when you get goals like Lincoln had, that terrific finish from Tyler Walker, you could easily think it's not going to be our day. The red has turned to a dark red behind the stand. Terrific colours across the skies of Lincolnshire. As the team all in red lead by 2-1. Bolger, ball bobbles up on him, plays it short, cuts Toffolo short into the area. Bolger atones and across to the corner.
Just singing Bolger's praises, and really nearly cost Lincoln a goal. I seemed to get the ball stuck under his foot and really put his team under pressure. Did well to redeem himself.
Corner South Park end of the ground will be from the attacking right. All of the red and white shirts inside that penalty area. And Lincoln City with a 2-1 lead, but Ipswich are going to change it, and it's a flicked header. Oh, and it's scored. Ipswich have levelled it. Not sure who got the final touch. It was a header on the corner of the box, and then another little flicked header. And that fantastic finish from Tyler Walker is rubbed out, and it's now 2-2.
Yeah, and you'd have to, Michael, you'd have to say that Bolger really it's down to him, really. He's gave a corner away that he didn't need to give away, got his team into trouble. As a manager, you're always bitterly disappointed when you concede from a free kick. It was a flick at the near post, and then the second ball wasn't defended, and it's finished in the back of Lincoln's goal. And it's got to be said, it's a very energetic Ipswich team that's come out in the second half, as though they maybe had been on the end of a bit of a rollicking from the manager. 2-2 then. Good job we said there's not many goals in this game.
And that we're paid for our views, or you are. It's City fighting for it. Toffolo. It's cleared away by the blue shirts of Ipswich. O'Connor stretches for it. O'Connor falls over. In goes Morale. Ipswich come away with the ball over the halfway line. Lincoln sprinting to get back into position, and the ball comes off a Lincoln player. Bolger, and out for a throw for Ipswich.
No, I think it came off an Ipswich player, Michael. I mean, it just took a bit of a deflection, but certainly got the tails up at the moment. Ipswich getting that equalising goal, making it 2 apiece and having a go.
Playing down the channel, Ipswich headed away. Lincoln pick it up with Morrell, a high ball looking for Walker to get underneath, and it goes up for the header early, comes down, and Ipswich will clear. Bostwick though, great piece of play from him, side foots the ball to Morrell, who lifts it wide for Eardley, who has to sprint but retrieves it on the halfway line, and Eardley looks for a ball into feet, and Hesketh can't quite control it, or get the close control he wanted, and Ipswich briefly bring the ball away. Lincoln trying to close off the space, force Ipswich back towards their own goal. Ipswich though create a bit of space of their own, and then Toffolo makes sure it goes out of play, and they've taken the throw. It's teapots from one of the Ipswich players. Lincoln carry on playing, and he commits the foul, and that's an absolutely farcical piece of play from Caden Jackson. Teapots and then a foul.
It seems no one's quite sure who got the touch for the second goal.
2-2 the scoreline. Lincoln's goals we're sure of, Harry Anderson and Tyler Walker. Garbutt scoring the first of the Ipswich goals.
Well, it's been given, Michael, Harry Toffolo on goal.
Well, if anyone's got a benefit of a replay, they can see it. There's a lot of bodies in there. Ball into the penalty area. That's an easy one for the goalkeeper, who gathers it in. 28 minutes to go. Cleared long over the halfway line by the Ipswich player, bounces up, kept in play though by City, and they're moving it around. O'Connor, that's asking a lot of Bostwick. He does well though. He was under real pressure from Norwood, cleared it away.
Just one or two passes going astray for Lincoln and putting themselves under pressure.
Eardley, O'Connor, Eardley again, plays it forward, looking for Walker, chests it down, it goes over the head of Hesketh, who's perhaps disappeared a bit in this game in the second half. Very influential early on in the first, but I haven't seen a lot of him of late. As forward come Ipswich, getting out towards the left-hand side, setting two banks of four, and Hesketh defending. Only Tyler Walker scoring the second goal for Lincoln, not defending. As the challenges come in, but Ipswich managed to get some space. Cross into the Lincoln area, bounces up, chance for a shot, and it's Michael Bostwick who blocks it.
Great block from Michael Bostwick. That really put his body on the line. Terrific block.
Lincoln City defending, Ipswich coming forward. Ball chipped into the edge of the area. Chance for Norwood, as he knows, it's cleared away. Hooked downfield. Hesketh looks to try and take on the attacker. And it was a little bit too keen, I think. And that's broken back. That's surely offside, and it is offside. I think, to be fair to the officials, they were trying to work out who the last touch was from, but it was from an Ipswich player for me.
Ipswich just having a spell, aren't they? Just putting Lincoln under a lot of pressure. This is an interesting one. James Wilson, the centre-back.
Trying to get a warm welcome. Former Lincoln man. Just
made a change of formation.
Well, the number 7 is the player who's on a yellow, Gavin Edwards, who started at right midfield. This Gwyan Edwards, I should say, is coming off.
It would indicate to me that...
Goes to 3 at the back. Oh no, they pushed one of the centre-halves wide on the right.
Yeah, they pushed the centre-half to... kept the back 4. Wilson's gone as centre-back, and as you said, Mike, one of the centre-backs has gone to right back. Probably not happy with Edwards as a defender.
And also he's on a yellow, isn't he? So he's
been a bit rash, hasn't he? He's made one or two rash challenges.
Forward come the Imps. And it's lost by George Grant. Straight ball down the middle. Headed away by Bolger. And it's picked up by City with Toffolo. It's all a bit intricate at the moment, but they work their way nearly through the middle. Ipswich are resorting to longer balls over the top, and they found Norwood out on the right-hand side. Norwood, ball into the penalty area, cut out by Bostwick, and the customer throw.
I don't think the goals are over yet, Michael, for either team. It's hammer and tongs at the moment from both teams, and Ipswich just having the best of it in this last 5 or 6 minutes.
It is an Ipswich throw right down in line with the penalty area on the attacking right, South Park end of the ground. Taking it, trying to work their way through. Lincoln have won the ball back briefly. There's an appeal for a handball. Referee not interested, neither is the official. Ball into the box. Bolger clears at the cost of a throw.
Good pressure from Ipswich at the moment, really pinning Lincoln back in their own 18-yard box.
It is City defending. Ipswich looking for a way through. 2-2 the scoreline here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Twice Lincoln have taken the lead, and twice Ipswich have pegged them back.
Michael, I think Michael Adam's got to be thinking of a change. Just think they need to look a bit leggy.
If Hesketh looks a little tired. O'Connor, referee not happy with his challenge. Thought it was a little late.
Yeah, it's just getting a little bit touchy, isn't it?
Yep. Anson and Walker, Lincoln's goal scorers, both well taken. Garbett, it's thought an own goal for Toffolo, the leveller. You have to work that out for the replays. Free kick for Ipswich, that is, on the right.
Great atmosphere, isn't it? Terrific atmosphere.
One's really for a left footer to fire in and pressurise Vickers in that South Park penalty area. All the Lincoln players are back. Furthest one forward is still inside the D, and that's Hesketh. He will be desperate to not let Ipswich get ahead in this game, having twice led. So waiting for the referee, blasts on his whistle, right-footed ball inside the area, and Norwood's header is wide, and he was offside anyway.
I always get concerned when you've got a player like Norwood, Michael, and he's not really been in the game. The two centre-halves have done a great job on him so far, but he can just get you something out of nothing, the boy Norwood, and he's always at you as well. He's a niggly player. I can imagine him just getting under your skin a bit, and he's always looking for something. Vickers,
well clear. Out towards the left-hand side. No competition for the ball. It's coming back at Lincoln quickly. Bolger does well, stands strong, wins it back. And then Vickers clears long again over the halfway line. Walker goes up for it, and it comes back for Lincoln. The referee needs to stop play. There's an Ipswich player down. And if it isn't a head injury, I think the referee was always going to go back. And I understand why Lincoln are now upset about it. The referee should have gone back about 20 seconds or so ago. And we all know now the Ipswich player's about to pick himself back up and look like Lazarus.
Paul Lambert's come across to state his point. He did it for Lincoln in the first half, why not for us?
Well, it'll be interesting to see where he gives the drop ball to, won't it? Because Lincoln were sweeping forward down the right-hand side.
It has to be Lincoln on the halfway line, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, for me, all three results are very much on in this game. Could be an away win, could be a home win, could be the draw. All are still very possible. I've been told watching on iFollow, it's a Norwood goal.
Yeah, well, just looking in the old phones, and it's got Toffolo down for an own goal, but it was hard to judge because it was just a bit of a melee in the 6-yard box, wasn't it? You couldn't see who got the final touch.
Well, if that's the case, then it's Norwood's 9th goal of the season.
You didn't see an Ipswich player celebrate, though, did you?
Well, they haven't celebrated either goal. No, you see, that's not fair. He doesn't restart the game in the same way he did with Ipswich in the first half. I mean, it's worked out for Lincoln. They've got down the line, but oh, glorious inconsistencies of humans. Throw for City. It's going to be Eardley who'll take it. Into the feet of Hesketh. Back to Eardley. Comes off an Ipswich player. Throw again. Hesketh will turn. Try and get it back to Eardley. Can't do so. Ipswich trying to clear their lines. Lincoln forcing them back. Long ball downfield. Bostwick, of course, wins the header, although it comes a bit off the side this time and out of play for a throw to the visitors.
Yeah, Ipswich just looking a little bit more composed than Lincoln since they got that equalised. Obviously, things not been going your way in recent weeks for Lincoln, and that's why players have got to stand up and be counted now. Ball
down the line. And Ipswich throwing it into the Lincoln City half. Boswing bounces up on him, but he plays a neat ball down the right channel. One for Walker to chase after. Ipswich going to have to be careful challenging him. He's been a real handful today. Back to Eardley, the right back. Into the feet of Hesketh. Turns and plays it into midfield to Morale. He's got a bit of space to his left where he finds Toffolo, the fullback, into the feet of Grant. Back to Toffolo. Lincoln got a bit of space. Ball into the box. Cut out by an Ipswich defender and cleared away. Ipswich though, that's not a great header by Caden Jackson. Straight back to Morel, down the left-hand side. Sprints towards the edge of the area, and he's caught. Referee plays the advantage. That's a stupid challenge. What is he doing there? Is it Jackson on a yellow? Is he not on a yellow? Well, he will be soon. That is a ridiculous challenge, and that is also ridiculous to the referee because there's been no advantage so far to Lincoln. Eardley. That's such a stupid challenge. Coming back at Harry Anderson. Back to Eardley. Eardley throw. How can he not give him a yellow card for that, Tomo?
I think he's backed out of that one, hasn't he? I just get the impression, mate, it's just boiling over a little bit, isn't it?
Well, understandably, I can see another Lincoln member of the bench just going up to the fourth official saying, well, why wasn't that a decision?
I feel for the fourth official. He didn't make the decisions, does he?
No, I know.
He just goes, I've no idea.
Morel, lovely bit of space, exchange of passes. Morel through the middle, still going Morel, pulls it back, Lincoln! 3-2! Tyler Walker! Fantastic for Morel! And a good finish from Walker, and City are back in front again!
That's a great run by Morel, isn't it? We've not seen that from Morel, have we, where he runs at people, and he ran past 2 or 3 Ipswich players, and I mean, Walker was just unmarked at the far post, and that's another one where they've lost the right back, put a centre back there, and he was just missing in action.
Wow, what a game. What was it you said yesterday, Tomo?
I said there's usually loads of goals in this game. I did say, didn't I, that he's not going to finish.
Well, you wait for goals in games. You have 1-1, 2, 1-0. Then you get 5. 3-2 to Lincoln City, 17 minutes to go. But Ipswich have still got a lot to ask in this game for me, and I'll still stick to what I said 2 minutes ago. Any result is still possible. Hesketh, Walker. And Walker, by the way, of course, on a hat-trick now.
Yeah, I mean, he's a goal scorer, Mike. Listen, that's what he plays, doesn't he? He comes alive in the 18-yard box. He likes to play on the shoulder of centre backs. He likes to use his pace. He likes with the last man running towards the opponent's goal.
I mean, like you, Tom, I watch plenty of football on the television, but you can't beat it at a game, can you?
In
the stadium.
You can't get the atmosphere, can you? And the supporters from both sides, where they're just anxious for their team to do well, and it's the relief of that third goal at the moment.
Ball chip forward, headed on by Bolger. Falls for a corner! Oh, header is straight at the goalkeeper, and it remains 3-2. And I'm going to come back to a thing in a second, Tomo, with you. Just thinking about what happened there. Terrific header from Bolger. Lincoln competing in midfield. Anderson turns and runs away. Anderson down the right hand side. Caden Jackson gets across, puts it out of play. Caden Jackson's challenge, which we all moaned about, was on Morel. He fired him up, didn't it?
Well, something did, because we've not seen that side to him, has he? He's been more of a holding player, but I mean, it was a terrific run. He just ran past 2 or 3 Ipswich players as though they weren't there. Lincoln,
Hesketh tripped over. Referee and the system don't think so. It's going to be a throw, which Lincoln will take with Eardley. And O'Connor makes a run, which Ipswich weren't expecting. Eardley back to O'Connor. Oh, lovely stuff. Eardley into the area, headed away by a defender. Morel, the shout to shoot from the Lincoln fans. Back to O'Connor, and now back to Eardley. Right-footed ball into the area. Keeper gathers it in. What a game. 3-2. Oh, and it's good. Let's go by the goalkeeper. Is he going back for the free kick? He is. It was kicked over the goal. What's he given here? Is he given a goal kick, or is he given a free kick? This will be interesting. He's given a free kick. Nowhere near. Well, it can't be there, because you were holding it. Yeah, well done. Put it back inside the penalty area. Did he get a card covered him.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on here.
The fourth official was trying to make a substitution.
Well, surely they have to wait for the referee to see the substitution, don't they? I don't know what's going on here.
Well, Norwood's off, Michael.
Norwood, who scored, we think, one goal, don't we? According to the goalkeeper's wasting his own time. Oh, now this is interesting, Tomo. It wasn't a foul. It was a goal kick. So if that had been, it would have stood. The challenge would have stood as a goal.
That's an interesting decision.
Maybe not all decisions go against Lincoln. Shame that they didn't score. 3-2 the scoreline. Bolger heads clear. Lincoln tails up at the moment very much, pushing forward. Hesketh back heels it. And O'Connor, who's been really involved in the last 10 minutes or so, scurries away with the ball, plays it back to Bolger under pressure to Toffolo, all inside the Lincoln half. Toffolo into feet and a lovely, lovely turn from George Grant. And then the charge down, and Toffolo's into the area. Can they make it 4? Oh, they pull it back. Anderson on the edge of the box. The stand around us all have got up on their feet. It's back with Eardley. And this is edge of the seat stuff as O'Connor being forced back, and he puts it out of play, and it remains 3-2. Terrific football, edge of the seat football, all live on Radio Lincolnshire as Harry Anderson does a little bit of experience from Harry, dare I say. He makes sure he gets fouled and takes a few seconds and a bit of impetus out of the game. We've got 13 minutes to go, and it remains 3-2 to Lincoln City.
Great break from Lincoln, wasn't it? And Toffolo, he squared it back, and the two Lincoln players getting into the box just got square with each other. One slipped, and you really thought that was going to be the fourth goal.
Well, certainly the most dramatic game we've had since Michael Appleton arrived as manager, I would say, Tomo. He's had some good results at home, hasn't had the results he'd like away from home. He's got a corner. One more goal you think would be enough for Lincoln City to get them over the edge. And I still think from this position at 3-2 for Lincoln, you wouldn't put it beyond Ipswich to go down the other end and get one or maybe even two. So it's very much a knife edge. Corner for Lincoln. George Grant into the area. Hesketh is back post, holds on to it. Hesketh, not much support, plays it back to O'Connor. Now Hesketh. Harry Anderson's just inside. Harry Anderson on the corner of the area. Back to Hesketh. Goes to the cross, wins the corner. And he's started to come to life again.
Yeah, I think it's one of those games, Michael. As a manager, you'd love to make a substitution because the game's frantic and you're going to put someone on who's got to pick the pace up straight away.
3-2. 2 goals for Tyler Walker. Started off by Harry Anderson. And it's 1 for Norwood. And 1 for Garbutt. Corner then, George Grant, right hand side, Stacey West end of the ground, and it's headed away by a defender at the cost of another corner. And Lincoln will be more than happy to play corners for the next few minutes. George Grant over this again. Can they find a header? Boswick or Bolger plays it wide. Anderson chips it into the area. George the foul! Oh, it's in! Lincoln City has scored! It's Michael Boswick with the fourth! And is that enough to see them over the edge and claim 3 points?
Great to see that you score from a set play as well, isn't it? And it's a work set play as well, isn't it? A good ball again. And it's that right back position again where Ipswich have been found wanting since the right back went off. They've tried 2 players there, and both goals, the third and the fourth, have come from where the right back should be.
And it was Harry Anderson the creator that time. Hopefully
that ties the game up.
Yeah. Boswick scoring, by my reckoning, his first goal of the season. And he enjoyed it.
Why not?
And we're going to see young Ellis Chapman. There'll be a stage where we don't say young Ellis Chapman when he's mentioned, but he'll be coming on soon. Lincoln City 4-2 up then. Some of the Ipswich fans leaving. Lincoln trying to win the ball back. O'Connor has done that. He plays it for Walker. I think he would have been offside if he'd got to the ball, but Ipswich have it back, and Lincoln need to keep their heads clear. 10 minutes to go. Played long into the Lincoln area. Ipswich looking to pick it up. City getting their players back, and we've seen many a dramatic game to know that it's never over until it's over. But Ipswich with a lot to do. Can they find 2 goals to level it? 4-2 the scoreline, and it's probably a good moment to remind you as the ball's coming into the Lincoln area. It's a shoot! Terrific save from Vickers! Lead away! And it's Caden Jackson slipping, and then it's off. Bolger, a great block from the number 6, and behind for a corner to Ipswich. Wow. That's knocked the stuffing out of us all, hasn't it? It's knocked all the stuffiness of the last couple of days. Ball into the Lincoln City area, and Boswick trying to head it clear. Bolger does, and then Hesketh gets it away. City trying to charge away. Ipswich get the block in, back into the Lincoln City area, and it goes all the way back to the halfway line for Ipswich. Trying to find a way through. They've got 9 minutes to do it plus stoppage time. Terrific from Boswick, and then a lovely little shimmy from Morrell and Hesketh. Now back towards Toffolo, and I think that's George Grant in fact, who plays it long down the left channel for his mate Tyler Walker, and he puts pressure on the defender, who can only put it out of play for a throw.
Chapman's been waiting to come on for about 3 or 4 minutes.
It's going to be Michael O'Connor. I'm guessing he's on the opposite side of the pitch. I think he's had a terrific game, Michael O'Connor, and actually in an attacking sense has helped Lincoln towards these last 2 goals.
Yeah, I keep saying it's his know-how around the pitch, and that, and I'm sure the players that are around him really respond to how he leads the line, and I said it's the glue between the back 4 and the front 4.
Alice Chapman coming on, and I think he and Morrell will swap places. Morrell on the right, Chapman on the left. Lincoln with a throw, 8 minutes to go. And it's out with Eardley on the right, and he plays it forward to Anderson, and Anderson wins a throw, does he? Yep. And that's a few more seconds ticking by, and just sense maybe Ipswich, they're going to do something, they're going to have to do it imminently. Tyler Walker, and he gets into Hesketh. Hesketh dispossessed. Lincoln need to stop the breakaway from Ipswich. They've got plenty of players back, Lincoln. It's not been suicidal in their attacking, but they're getting players back in position. George Grant at the moment just coming into left centre midfield because Chapman's gone outside, but the ball's gone straight through the middle of the Lincoln midfield. Ipswich, ball into the box. Can they make it 3? There's your answer. 4-3 Ipswich.
Well, I don't know what you were thinking of yesterday, Michael, when you said there weren't many goals in this game.
What a game.
That's too easy, isn't it, that goal? Mike Clapton will be really frustrated with conceding that 3rd goal. It's far too easy how they just got through Lincoln.
7 minutes to go. Dare I say, a few of those who've left from the Ipswich contingent might turn around and come back in. I didn't grab the goal scorer on that one. It's a very good finish. It's played long downfield, now to play. And with 6.5 minutes to go, and I said to you, Tommy, these days it always feels like it's never really over. And I'll say it now, all 3 results are possible. I think it was the substitute who scored, who were the number 48. Forward come Ipswich, high ball into the Lincoln area. And Vickers just needs to gather that in and gather his thoughts and gather his teammates around him and just take a little bit of pep out of the game. Ipswich will believe they can get something. They believe they can get a draw, and who knows, even more than that. Long downfield, 4-3 to Lincoln City. Dramatic afternoon. And they're all fighting for it, and Ipswich have committed the foul.
It's certainly going to be a frantic last 5 minutes plus whatever has added on.
Lincoln play the ball down the channel. Ipswich stretching for it. It breaks back in midfield. Hesketh oversteps. Hesketh trying to get forward, and he looks to get it wide to Tyler Walker. Walker gets the ball into the box. Keeper lets it roll across because it's not going to come to a Lincoln player. And now Ipswich with a chance to break. And Lincoln, well, that's, dare I say, they need to run it in the corner then, Tomo, not to try and get it in the box and try and be too ambitious, but they're determined to try and get more out of this game. They're 4-3 up. Ipswich pushing forward down the left-hand side. Sears, the number 20, cuts inside. Are they going to find the leveller? You wouldn't put it beyond them. Out on the right-hand side now. Toffolo trying to block off the cross. Ball is behind for a goal kick. Let out a deep breath, and we have 5 dramatic minutes plus stoppage time to go. My guess on stoppage time is going to be 4 minutes. There's not been too many subs.
Esketh looks on like he's on gas and air to me, Michael. He's really struggling at the moment, the lad. I think he ran out of steam when I thought he was going to go and attack the Ipswich goal.
10,012 the gate, 1,732 I think it was the away attendance. I'll ask you for a man of the match, but we'll perhaps leave you to do that in our summary up at full time, because Tom, it feels like a game that there could be a moment that could change it all in terms of who you think is a man of the match. Still,
well, I certainly hope it's not Josh Vickers having to pull a stupendous save off, because it's been an incredible
thrown
game.
Down the line, flicked on. Not too long till we play Ipswich again. I think it's the 25th of January. As Morrell goes in, Lincoln still going forward. Harry Anderson looks to get the cross, he wins the corner. Bodies all over the place.
Yeah, well, into the short corner and run the clock down, you would, or are they going to put it in the box?
Well, Boswick and Bolger have gone forward.
And interestingly, Ipswich have took everyone back.
Yeah, yes, hasn't he? Well, it kind of answers the question for Lincoln, doesn't it, really?
Well, they've sunk one up now, Ipswich.
Caden Jackson, I think it is. Right, ball from the right then. Can they find a 5th goal? Headed away. And it bounces out of play, and that was sensible play. Eardley's going to be the man coming forward. Ipswich will moan, but he was back on the halfway line. He can't get it further forward any quicker. What do they expect? Ipswich all of a sudden putting 2 on the halfway line. Eardley with a throw. 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes plus stoppage from 3 points. Eardley, so players around him, wins another throw. I think he's a little lucky there. I thought he might have got out already, and the assistant was a bit too close to make the decision. 2 minutes 50 to go on BBC Radio Lincoln. Lincoln 4-3 up, and Eardley can't control it. The ball is out of play. Lincoln getting players back. Ipswich are going to look to try and create at least one more chance to level things here on BBC Radio Lincoln. The throw is from nowhere near. It went out, which is why Lincoln complained. And then
a free kick. A
free kick to Ipswich. Lincoln will feel aggrieved. They'll feel the tide is going the way of the visitors, and then the ball is another 5 metres on. And wait for this. I'm sure that the goalkeeper is going to make it even further away from where the free kick was taken.
Oh.
What is going on here, referee? Get a grip. And he's forcing the goalkeeper back. And a volley of abuse at the assistant referee, and a volley in the air at the assistant referee from Paul Lambert. 4-3 to the Imps. Ipswich long ball downfield. Boswick heads it away. Ipswich fighting for it on the edge. It comes back at Lincoln again. City need to clear this. Bolger is across at the cross of a throw. 140 to go plus stoppage time. City have been 1-0 up, 2-1 up, 3-2 up, 4-2 up, 4-3 up. Are Ipswich going to find a leveller with a long throw at the South Park end of the ground? More than 10,000 in the ground. Long throw into the box, and it's not dealt with, and Vickers comes out and gathers it in. Ipswich are claiming Caden Jackson was clattered to the ground by Eardley. Referee is not interested.
Certainly anxious moments that as it went into the 6-yard box there. The first ball not dealt with, the second one bouncing in the 6-yard box.
Well, by my reckon, we've got a minute to play. Long clearance from Vickers. Walker, scorer of 2, goes up. Chapman comes in with a challenge. Ipswich, when the ball's gone behind, their attacking players have had to check their run and go back into their own half. Lincoln trying to close off the space, trying to win the ball back, doing just that. Morrell forward to Hesketh. Lincoln charging forward. Hesketh shoots. There is a foul on the left-hand side. The referee doesn't see it. He has missed at least 3 of those, Tomo, this afternoon. Boswick clears it. Anderson, oh, poor touch from Anderson. Ipswich in possession. The giant figure of the number 48. He must be about 6'7". So the ball is charged down by Hesketh and it clatters around the dugout, the Ipswich dugout. 19 minutes plus stoppage time to go. The 4th official is ready. Boswick heads clear under pressure, and then it's played down. Oh, it nearly finds the run of Tyler Walker from Morell's ball. Chapman fighting for it on the halfway line. Ipswich fighting their way forward. 4-3 to Lincoln City. How many minutes? 5? Where's he found 5? Ipswich filing forward. I think they can get 2 in that time. Ball in the box. Vickers nowhere near. It's going to be defensively cleared by Toffolo, away from goal. Ipswich trying to find a way through Lincoln's back line. Ball into the penalty area again. Bolger clears. Vickers was calling for it possibly, but Bolger wasn't taking a chance. I'm not sure where he's found 5.
No, neither am I, but substitutions. There's been 1 or 2 down. Something with supposedly head injuries, but it's been an enthralling game, hasn't it? If you'd have said to me yesterday, Michael, that we're going to witness a 4-3 with this kind of football and this kind of
you're going to put me in my little chair and wheeled me out, wouldn't you? 4 minutes to go, and I understand why they want to waste time and get the ball. You can't throw that because the ball's not off the pitch. You can't have 2 on the pitch at the same time. Right, Ipswich will get this game on. I think the referee's going to allow a good 10-15 seconds for that.
Like a foul throw.
Referee.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Not seeing it.
Not playing for them now.
Lincoln with 2 banks of 4 back. 3.5 minutes to go. Ipswich trying to play long downfield. Boswick trying to head it away. Inside the area, Jackson trying to turn, trying to get the shot away. City blocking it off. Bolger with a challenge. Chapman clears long. Bounces up on Walker. Anderson sprinting. Anderson gets it back to Walker. 2 against 1. Walker! And into the area. Hesketh to finish! Yeah! 5-3 Lincoln City! That surely is the game! Sensational game at Sincilbank! Brilliant game at Sincilbank! Pandemonium!
It's not very often since Michael Appleton's been here, seen him on the pitch celebrating Michael, but as that hit the back of the net, Michael Appleton was on the pitch punching the air, and quite deservedly as well. I mean, an absolutely enthralling game. I had it down for a 1-1. I'll be absolutely honest. And Ipswich, they've just got done on the counter, haven't they? They've tried to get that equaliser. And my man of the match, Michael, I'll tell you now, it's Walker.
Well, he put the cherry on, didn't he, there with the pass as well?
He's had a link time. He's had to play 1 up the front. He's had to play up there on his own. He's been, sort of had to plough a lone furrow. He scored a scintillating first goal. He's made this goal, scored a second goal, and I think he's led the line terrific this afternoon.
Can I say also, for all my moaning, it's easy to do now with Lincoln 2 goals clear, but Ipswich have played their full part in this game. It's been a terrific.
Well, I apologise to Neil Eardley's wife that I can't give it to him this time, but it's certainly got to be Walker for me. As I said, he's led the line magnificently. He's terrorised the centre-backs of Ipswich.
I was also about to say, just before Hesketh had his chance, the other 2 games of centre-back, while they were 1-0ers, what did they all have? Late-minute goals.
You can't. The atmosphere, the crowd, the away supporters, the home supporters, and it's just been an absolutely thrilling, entertaining game, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Vickers is getting a yellow card for time wasting. If you're wondering on the clock, minute 15 seconds. I think he'll add another minute on top of that. But Lincoln with a 2-0 lead, 2-goal lead, 5-3. I can't remember that last time we had 8 goals at Sincilbank in a game. Somebody will probably tell me. It was last week or something.
Might not be over yet, Michael.
Well, a free kick for the Imps. And there's another difference. All managers are different, but under Cowley's, Lincoln would have run it in the corner, which at times today I felt we should have done. But that's not Michael Appleton's way, clearly.
No, it's a choice that you take. If it works, then you're a hero. If it doesn't, you're a villain.
BBC Radio Lincolnshire, Hope and Glory. Calm down.
There's some buzz around the ground, isn't there?
Like I said to you, Tommy, you can't beat being at a game. You never can. TV's great, but being a game. Lincoln have won it back. Hesketh's on the edge of the... It's not Hesketh, it's George Grant on the edge of the area. And he's got Eardley outside. And Eardley dinks the ball forward to the score of the 5th goal, Hesketh. And he's got 2 Ipswich players around him, right down by the corner flag. And wins a throw. He's pushed away. And a bit of frustration boils over. We played those 5 minutes of stoppage time. And Lincoln City are on the cusp of a vital 3 points after a 5-3 win. It's chipped forward by Eardley. Lincoln will chase after it, but it's out of play, is it? No? Yes, no, it is out of play. And I think when we get this clearance downfield from the goalkeeper, that will be it, surely. What an afternoon. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Cleared long downfield. And the referee is happy to play on with the giant figure of the 48. Smashed it forward, but that is the whistle. Is it? No.
Yeah, that's the whistle for offside.
What a couple of days for Lincolnshire football. Great result for the Pilgrims yesterday, pushing on for the playoffs, and it feels like a really important result for Lincoln City today.
What a setup for New Year's Day, Peterborough.
Yeah.
A team that have goals themselves as well.
And a bit of laugh just from last time as well.
Can't wait.
Going to be cleared long.
There's going to be goals in that game, you know.
Downfield. No, there'll be no goals in that game, Tommy. That's what you have to say now. That is the whistle from the referee. A magnificent afternoon for Lincoln City. They've won a thriller at the bank by 5 goals to 3. They've taken the lead at 1-0, at 2, at 2-1, at 3-2, at 4-2, and then eventually ran out 5-3 winners with Jake Hesketh scoring late on. Magnificent entertainment. I hope you've enjoyed it at home as much as we have here.